What's up, y'all? Hope you guys are having a good evening. This video is for Jordan Yu. Jordan, I want to thank you for that video you did on your 25,000 BTU Gibson. That is such awesome machine. That thing has an incredible Copeland recip. It sounds absolutely fantastic. It's just music to the ears. And what a beautiful machine. I saw Russ's video on it too. Makes it doubly better. So Jordan, this video is going to be for you. I'm going to return the favor to you. I'm going to start up and run my 1978 Comfort-Aire Quietmaster just for you. Gonna have some commentary, but it's pretty much, I'm just going to let the beauty right here speak for itself. So before we start it up, I'm going to get you the dimensions on this unit. Russ has one just like this, but it's from 1999. This thing is 22 inches high by 27 inches wide. So it's as wide as the weather wheel, which is undergoing restoration. And it's 36 inches deep, which means from here to here, that's 3 feet in depth. This is a huge machine. This is practically a central system in a box. The fan motor is a universal electric motor, rated at 1.5 horsepower. Draws 4.6 amps on high and I think it was either 4.6 or 4.2. And 2.6 amps on low, and locked rotor amps of 8.8. So pretty high locked rotor amps for a big fan motor. Look at the depth of that blade. Those blades, they are extremely deep, which means this thing moves a ton of air. This thing can just whip air right through the condenser just like that. That just goes to show how powerful this thing is. And even here, you don't want to stick your hand in there. So if you accidentally get it in the blower, you ain't coming back with it. Look at the size of that blower. This is an industrial grade machine. Even here, I have to step like 3 or 4 feet back just to fit the whole thing in the frame. Here's our control panel here. You can see we got the vent feature, which I do like. It's very useful. We got our power control, which we got off, low fan, low cool, high fan, and then back to off. I have it stalled in between low and high cool with the thermostat turned down, because we are going to start this massive AH up, because I know Jordan, you love the big old recips, man. I totally hear you on that. So do I. Got our thermostat down right now. So without further ado, let's fire this thing up. Start it up at 3:45. Sorry, throwing heat out the back, which is good. Suction line is ice cold. And discharge is nice and hot. Here's the compressor information right here. This is a Tecumseh AH152HT-031. This is a 2.5 horsepower compressor. This one I think is rated for up to 36,000 BTU. Not quite exactly sure. The compressor has a General Electric motor in it. Has a date code of E0478, which translates to May 4th, 1978. The C indicates there's a change in the design. Not exactly sure what the K means. 404192 is the compressor serial number. So that's the serial number for this AH compressor that you see here. AH5531E. That's your catalog number. So if you ever need to get a replacement compressor, across all the different part sites and stuff like that, you'll probably still find one of these. There are many AH compressors that have AH5531E for a catalog. Lock floater amps is 76.0. That's insane lock floater amps for something this big. 208 230V on 60 hertz, 200 volts on 50 hertz. Made in the USA. Beautiful compressor. Here's the back of the unit. You see here, this is very, very big. Listen to that fan right there. That just means business right there. You feel directly behind it. There is a huge suction draft going in. This thing is very powerful. Come over here to the cold register. This thing is ice cold. That's right. Cold started it at 28 degrees. It's throwing well below zero out of the coil there, out of the register. It's so cold I can't even keep my hand there for a few seconds to tell you how cold it is. There's even evidence too. See a little bit of frost formation there. Look at that. This thing is so powerful that if you try to put your hand there, it's just gonna spit it right back out. It's gonna spit it right back out. We do got heat coming out the back. Now, as the unit runs for longer periods, it is going to start throwing more heat out the back. Because I did notice with this one, I don't know, Jordan, if you noticed this with your Gibson or not, but I noticed that you got to run it for like a good 15-20 minutes or so for it to really start throwing some heat out the back in this cold of temperatures as it warms the shop up or the garage, depending on where you run it. It is slightly out of balance, but it's nothing major. This thing is industrial grade, and it can withstand quite a bit. The motor is super easy to dismount if you need to do work on it or change it. It's got the 2 bolts on each side, and then the fan. In order to get the fan on, all you have to do is just disconnect. All you have to do is just loosen the 2 square head bolts on it. Fan blade comes right off. This thing just needs some serious business right here. Also, I did replace the capacitors, so if I didn't show you guys this on video, Jordan, I don't know if you've seen the new cap I put in, but there about these. Every 12 months you gotta oil them. And I know this thing does have oil ports, which is very useful. It's an absolute beauty of an air conditioner. Got some cross formation forming here. So that thing is absolutely freezing. That's how cold this thing is. Absolutely freezing. Starting to throw plenty of heat out the back now, which is good. This thing's got a full charge. Classic sound of a Tecumseh AH. You can't beat music to the ears like this. So our wiring here, which comes into the control panel, right through that little conduit right there. This thing is such an impressive machine. A lot of people are probably going to agree with us on this. There's nothing better than the sound of a good old reciprocating compressor. Definitely nothing better than the sound of a good old recip. For those of you that like the old school rotaries, nothing better than the sound of this either. This is an old school GE rotary with the oil cooler. Very impressive machine. Oh, and BTW, in case you guys didn't know, this thing's from 1971, so I'm going to show you this real quick here. I got the information on how to decode the serial number, and then we got DM, which translates to February of 1971. Isn't that interesting? February 1971 this thing was made. Oh, man. Can't even stand near the Comfort-Aire without getting chills because of how cold this thing is blowing. This thing's throwing out negatives. I mean, guarantee it's throwing out negatives. What an awesome machine. I'll probably say this quite a few times. What an awesome machine. It's reliable. Nothing stops it from cooling or heating when it needs to be operating. Solid, reliable beast. Does such a great job heating the shop and keeping me cool when I'm working down here that it just does such a great job. I'll always be grateful for collecting this beauty and saving it. May not be the best preserved example due to it being neglected for so long before I got it. But it is reinforced underneath, as you can see right there. So it's not gonna crack anymore. Thanks to proper support underneath. Let you guys hear that AH one more time. Then we're just gonna shut it right off from there. Ooh. Hope you guys heard that. That was pretty cool. nets are off just a little bit. Here's the spin down on the fan, because this thing's got a long spin down time. It's not a ball bearing motor, but it's definitely a very good quality sleeve bearing motor. Look at that. Nice long spin down. And like I was saying before, if you have to take the fan off, you just take those 2 square head bolts off right there, and the fan comes off just like that. So that's going to do it for this video. Jordan, I hope you like this. I did this just for you, because I know how much you like the big old reciprocating compressors. And I know you've probably never got to actually listen to this thing in operation in service, so I hope you enjoy it, buddy. This video is just for you.